While speech is important for a deaf child in a hearing world, sign language can greatly enhance your child's communication skills and quality of life. Deaf children are like any other child. They have a hunger for knowledge and understanding. You can expedite this process by teaching your deaf child at a very young age. Fact: babies can learn simple signs as early as 6 months and develop the motor skills for sign language at around 9 months old. Learning sign language can help your child on the road to speech if you choose to go that way. There are whole communities of deaf people that communicate using sign language. In 1814, there was a man named Thomas Hopkins Gallaudet. His neighbor, Mason Finch Cogswell, charged Dr. Gallaudet with teaching Cogswell's deaf daughter, Alice Cogswell, how to read and write. Dr. Gallaudet noticed that Alice was smart despite being unable to speak or hear. Dr. Gallaudet didn't know how to educate the deaf. During his time, the deaf were widely considered as unable to be taught much of anything. So, Dr. Gallaudet got support and money from his community to travel to Europe and learn how to teach the deaf there. 60 years earlier in France, Abbé Charles Michel de l'Épée started the first school for the deaf and developed the basis of French Sign Language today. When Dr. Gallaudet went to France, he learned how to teach the deaf from Laurent Clerc, one of the most experienced professors at Abbé de l'Épée's National Institute for Deaf-Mutes. When it was time for Dr. Gallaudet to fly back to America, he asked Laurent Clerc to accompany him. Clerc agreed, and they came back to America to start the American School for the Deaf in Hartford, Connecticut. Because of this, the American Sign Language is a combination of French Sign Language and the local signs that students brought with them to school.
The schools for the deaf really were the first place where deaf people came together, and they shared their language, they shared their culture, they shared their stories about growing up.
The one reason why I chose RIT was because their deaf and hard of hearing student population there, I think it's over 1,500 deaf and hard of hearing. And that really impressed me. It made me feel like I really fit. And I've been mainstream since 2nd grade. And I would like, to see how the deaf community is up there once I get to Rochester. And I really think I'll be a good fit. RIT is a good school. They have a really good co-op program there. Yeah, I am deaf. I am different. Just like everyone else. We're all different. I would tell deaf students to have lots of patience and don't be afraid to do anything. Don't hide, show yourself, show what you can do.
Sign language is a complete language with metaphors, nuances, and even dialects. Giving your child a natural and tangible form of communication as a foundation opens new doors and opportunities for learning.
Speech training over and over again. Think of all the time I spent on it when I could have learned other things, be educated in other things. I spent so much time learning how to talk, how to say milk, cat, dog.
There are many opportunities for your deaf child. Give them a chance. Teach them sign language and get involved with your deaf community today.